Hey guys, Thunderstruck MTB here. Hey, tonight is going to be the fourth and hopefully final video in the, series for my 2023 Rockshox Pike Ultimate 130 mil 29er bolted to my Santa Cruz Chameleon hardtail. If you're watching this in the future and if it doesn't say final in the title of this and if there is in fact a fifth video, that's not a good thing. I'll only put a fifth video up if something bad happens to the fork that I don't expect, like a CSU creak or, bushing play, or the damper blows up or something crazy like that. So here's to hoping that this is the fourth and final video. I guess I'll just start it by asking myself the question, is this fork better than the 2021 Pike Ultimate 130 29er bolted to the same bike that it replaced? Short answer, yes it is. Not an emphatic yes, but yes it is. We'll get into, I guess, the reasons why. Here as the video rolls on. Before we get there, I think it's important that you know a little bit about me to see if who I am and what I do relates to you in any way. So I'm 6 foot, just under 210 pounds, all kitted up. I ride in the SoCal high desert. Good, hard, aggressive mountain bike riding, I call it. Some would call it maybe aggressive cross country. Quite a few high-speed G-outs, a couple of like 3 foot rock drops, but no road gaps. Not a lot of hucks to flat. Don't go to bike parks. If I'm going to prioritize anything in my fork, it's going to be mid-stroke support and off the top responsiveness, suppleness as 1 and 1A. And end stroke bottom out resistance is going to be somewhere far below around 3 or 4. So that kind of gives you an idea of what I'm looking for in a fork, the feeling I'm looking for in the fork, and you can use that to see if it relates to you in any way, shape, or form. So I guess, yeah, here we go. So I guess the main negative or con of the fork to me was just how long it took to get here, to get to the setting to where I could answer the question. Yes, it actually is a better fork. There was a long period of time where that question was an emphatic hell no. And so that would be its major con. That could a lot be my fault. Stubbornness. It could have been because of the prior Pikes. This is set up completely different than the prior Pikes, and that could have got me down. A number of reasons. It doesn't matter. But yes, this was harder to set up than any of my previous Pikes, my previous Fox 34s, DVO Sapphire. They were all much easier to get feeling right out of the box than this guy was. But eventually we got here. So if you go back to the video before this, number 3, I was complaining about what my problem was. High speed washboards, high speed chatter, braking bumps. This thing was so harsh. Everything that was happening at the ground and at the tire was happening right at the bars, man. It was just transmitting up to the bars, up to my hands, just vibrating the crap out of me. Just wasn't happy with the off-the-top suppleness, I suppose we'll call it. And took me a while to get the fix. So I talked about that in the 3rd video before this. So I'm going to go over my final settings to give you an idea of what the fork is capable of. And I got to this point now where I consider it to be a really, really good fork. So first is I am running 5 PSI over the recommended pressure for my weight via the Trailhead app. So that again, that's 5 PSI over. I am running 2 clicks of rebound faster for that pressure. And I am running 0 tokens for a nice linear spring feel. So for my weight of just under 210 pounds, the app wants to be at 94 PSI. So I'm at 99 PSI now. If I manipulate that Trailhead app and add to like 219 pounds of body weight to get it up to where it says the fork should be 99 PSI, then it says I should be at 5 on the rebound. Well, I'm at 7. So again, 99 on the pressure, 7 on the rebound, which is 2 clicks faster, and I think is one of the most important things of this fork, which we'll talk about a little more in detail. And again, no tokens at all. Let's call those the base settings. Let's call those the foundation settings if we're building a building. To me, the compression would be more along the lines of the icing on the cake, or maybe the paint on the house, if you will. So the compression settings, well, I love what Rockshox has done with the top caps, the top knobs, having that center default, and then like right or left is plus or minus. I gotta admit, it was kind of screwing with my head to where I was kind of envisioning that the center default position was kind of zero or full open, if you will. And then finally I'm like, come on, dude, come on, numbskull. That the center, it can't be less than zero. So that center can't, or the center can't be zero. So then I just thought, I'm just gonna count clicks. So there's 15 clicks of low speed. There are 5 clicks of high speed. And once I wrapped my head around that, it was much easier for me to start reducing damping. And I ended up, right now, I am at, we're gonna call it -3 on low speed, -1 on high speed. Or as I like to kind of think about it now, I'm at 5 out of 15 on low speed, and I'm at 2 out of 5 on high speed. And yeah, so those are kind of the settings for me and what I'm looking for. To get the fork feeling good, if I had to prioritize the main thing that got me to open this fork up, to get it in the window of, yes, this is starting to feel good, is, man, you got to open up that rebound. It just seems to me, at least on my fork, and maybe I've seen a lot of other reviews that kind of match mine of this fork is harsh. As soon as I opened that thing up and got it to stop packing down, which I firmly believe what was happening, it was just packing down into that supportive middle part of the travel. Once I opened it up, and then on top of opening it up, once I added that 5 PSI, I know it sounds crazy, it's harsh, and the last thing you want to do is open PSI. It was crazy to me, but once I added the PSI and opened that fork to my settings, that was it, man. The fork became just completely a different beast, and well before I even started clicking any of the compression knobs. So that was definitely the main driver in getting this fork to where it feels today. I guess since I've already creeped myself out by asking one question, let's go for 2. What do I consider the best feature compared to the 23 on this 23 compared to the 21? That's easy. That's the air spring. This air spring here, in my current settings of +5 on the PSI and no token, it's still a nice linear feeling with plenty of bottom out resistance. I don't bottom out. I use maybe 125 millimeters of my 130. No harsh bottom out. It is nice. On my 21, I had to run 2 air tokens in it, because if I didn't run the 2 air tokens in and I used the pressure that they recommended for my weight, then I only had like 8% sag. So I reduced it, typically like 5 to 7 PSI, my memory says, and then to get the proper sag. But then I had to throw in 1 or 2 tokens to get any sort of bottom out resistance, and that just created a monster of an air spring for the last inch of travel that I hated. It just ramped up. It was so progressive. I really disliked the air spring on the 21 immensely. So this air spring for me and how I ride, it is really nice. I won't say perfect, nothing's perfect, but it's really nice. It's its best feature. Charger 3.0 damper, nice. And of that, to me, it's the rebound circuit. The rebound circuit is awesome. It allows, once I opened it up, it allows for real fast off the top to track real nice on the braking bumps, on the washboard stuff, without getting and kicking too much when I got real deep into the travel. I tried 8, opened it up to 8. That was just a little bit too much. That was one click too much. 7 is obviously my magic number, and I think the rebound circuit is fantastic. The fork's dead silent. Very cool. Dead silent, no noise. And I can confirm that Rockshox says there's no crosstalk between high speed and low speed compression, and adjusting one doesn't affect the other and vice versa. Absolutely can agree with that. Absolutely. You can definitely feel a difference in the clicks, especially in the high speed. It's a subtle change, but nevertheless, it's a change that you can feel on the trail. So yeah, it's all pretty cool. If I had to describe the fork now in the current way I have it set up, quick, fast, responsive. The faster I go, the better it feels. There's a tagline, Rockshox. That's how I would kind of, I guess, describe as it sits now. Buttercups, I don't know, man. I can't tell you that they're good, bad. They're just there. I guess it's nice knowing they're there. The bleeders in the back for the air, I pushed them now about 937 times a piece, and I never heard anything. Just guess I don't go high enough elevation for it to do anything. Temperature changes didn't do anything, so I guess they're there to be nice, but they don't do anything on my fork. So at the end of the day, yes, I'm happy. I was able to sell my 21 for a really good price, and that really offset the price of paying for this. So that value to me, everyone has different, charts on personal opinions on value. For me, it was worth it, especially when I factored in what I sold the 21 for. It's a better fork. Not night and day, it is subtle. So hopefully this video, my intention to make it was, if you've kind of got this in the cart somewhere and you've been on the fence to buy it now for the last few hours, the last few days, the last few weeks, or delete it out of the cart altogether and look somewhere else, I'm hoping that this video, gave you a little clarity on whichever way you go. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will always answer in the comments. If I miss anything, by all means, drop them. And I hope this video, like I said, gave you some clarity. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. See ya.